Hey everyone, and this is going to be a talk through tutorial get ready with me style video where I want to share with you one of my favorite combination for the eyes lately using my Panda palette, which is the Too Faced chocolate bar, and a little bit of other products that I've been using or that I've been working on to see some progress, and other ones just to finish. I usually do voiceovers because I feel like voiceovers, well, number one, I have 2 channels, so I'm gonna start working on my face while I talk about it. I will put all the products that I'm using on the screen and in the description box down below. I feel like with this kind of videos, you know, when I'm doing tutorials or something, it's easier not to talk through them because I have a Spanish channel. So I usually do Spanish and an English version. If I talk through it, I remember what I was saying on both. But I realized a few things recently, and I think that, you know, this kind of video is so popular here because we have the possibility to buy stuff more than any other, like, you know, South American country or Central American country. It's just kind of hard, and for them sometimes they get it, but there are some people that look at these videos, like panning videos and stuff like that, and they are like, well, I don't get it, why do you want to use it up? You know, it's just that kind of thing that they simply don't get. So it's not like the most watched videos in my Spanish channel. It's like something that they would watch, but mostly the hardcore, like from the beginning kind of subscriber. But you know, it's just not, it's not for everyone. So I find that I'm gonna try to, or I will try to do more of this kind of panning videos, even if it's like a panning tutorial. I'm going to try to keep it for this English channel, and then I'll include something every once in a while in my other channel just for the ones that like it. But I find that if I do this kind of content very often, people can't really relate to it, because I get it. I mean, here we're blessed with, you know, work, which is something that not in every country there's work and or jobs that you can, you know, get, and in order to not only pay for your bills but buy stuff. You know, it's just one of those things that it's not for everyone. And some people, I don't know, are just saying how much they don't get the idea of using up stuff for the sake of using up stuff. And we know that it's not because of that. I mean, we're not doing this because we just want to be over or we want to be done with the product. We know that we want to, you know, get our money's worth and use up those products that we already spent our money on. But sometimes it would just have one foundation, one concealer, and you know, it's not, this kind of video is not for everyone. So that's why that's my long explanation of why I'm doing a talk through video today. I am going to, I can't see this thing, so I'm going to conceal my lid right here. I've been breaking out, I mentioned this in many videos. I'm going to put a little bit of this concealer into this brush, then I'm going to wash, because I don't want it after I touch that area. But I was reading some comments yesterday, and they were saying, it wasn't in this channel, it was in my Spanish channel. They were like, what's going on with your skin? I'm like, I wish I knew. And I mentioned this in so many videos that I feel like I repeat myself too much. But I get it. I mean, not everyone that comments in a video needs to be a subscriber or needs to follow my channel. So they probably didn't know, or if they did know, I don't know, they were just curious, I guess. But it's funny how some people I don't know, they think that it's okay to talk about something that you can't really fix. I mean, I've been working on it, but I can't really fix it. If you tell me about my foundation, or if you talk about, I don't know, other things that I can do to improve, I get it. But my skin, I mean, I am the kind of person that is always doing something to her skin. I'm always using masks, micro exfoliations, peelings, I mean, you name it. If it wasn't because of that, I'll probably have the worst skin ever. But whenever I see something that is changing on my skin, I'm like, okay, I need to do something about it, you know? So it's not that I'm neglecting my skin. It's just that I've been taking that medicine that is messing with my skin. But to be honest, I'd rather breathe okay and be able to spend my summer outside than have, you know, better skin or great skin and have to be inside because of my asthma. So I don't like it. It hurts, it bothers me, but I'm hoping that there's going to be a point where I'm going to be able to switch medicines. As of right now, what we've been trying hasn't been working. So I'm like, not too much that I can do about that. I mean, if you tell me something that I can change, I would totally do it, but I can't change my breakouts. They're just there, and, you know, I try to ignore them as much as I can. Especially when I'm recording a video. When I'm not recording, then what I try to do anyways is put something on it and just let it breathe. But if I'm going to record, or if I'm going to go out and I'm going to use makeup, I'm in that point where I just try to, you know, cover it and forget about it because it bothers me. I mean, and I get that people get bothered by that, but there's not much I can do about it. Now I'm going to do my eyebrows, and I'm trying to finish the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. This is the Never Ending Pomade. So I'm trying to finish it before the end of the year. And I've been using it almost every single day that I wear makeup since the beginning of the year. So I'm gonna fill in my eyebrows. I'm gonna put a little bit of my primer, or eye primer. This is a Smashbox one. I don't know why, but now that I'm getting to I'm almost done with it, it comes out a lot, and sometimes it's kind of hard to blend it just because it's so creamy and so like slippery. Then I'm gonna set it with a big brush, and I'm gonna take this trio that I have in one of my projects. This is the shades of brow, and I'm gonna go into the lighter shade here, and I'm gonna set that. Now I'm gonna start this look with something from my MAC palette. I'm gonna take the color Malt, and this one, I don't know why, but it's kind of hard compared to the other ones. I mean, I like it, I like the pigmentation and everything, but it's not as creamy as the other ones. And with this one, I'm gonna apply it into the crease and a little bit above. I feel like this brush doesn't work. This is the Taper Crease by Sephora Collection. I mean, it works, but more for detail. I like this one better. It's also by Sephora Collection. This is the Pro Crease number 10. I like it much, much better when they are fluffy and they open the bristles when you are blending it. I think that's the #1 requirement for this kind of step, because I feel like that gives you the most very well blended, smoky but still subtle kind of look. Now I'm taking the color Milk Chocolate, I think it's this one, in Salted Caramel, off the excess, and I'm gonna apply this into the outer corner, and I'm gonna stamp the color right there first, and then once I know I don't have much product more left in the brush, then I'm gonna start to blend it into the inner corner. Now the idea with this is that I want the outer corner, but I feel like that's the best kind of look for my eyes that are kind of close together, so I try to concentrate the darkest into the outer part of the lid and then blend whatever it's left in. Now I'm using a Sephora Pro Blending Large number 27. This is very similar to the E25 by Sigma or the MAC 217, and since it's kind of flat, it makes this so much easier. I'm gonna go into the other eye and apply it too, and then I will be blending. Again, this two eyeshadows from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar are very pigmented, so it doesn't take too much to build up the color. So I'm gonna go into the other brush that I applied the transition, the number 10, and then I'm going to blend. Take a little bit of more of malt and blend it into whatever the darker part stops and into the crease area, so you'll have something lighter into the crease, kind of following those darker colors. And malt is such a beautiful shade. It really doesn't mess with the other eyeshadows. It kind of helps blend everything. It's just one of those shades that you look at it in the pan and you're not sure why you bought it, but then once you start to blend and work it with other shades, it's just beautiful. Now for the lid area, I'm going to use the I-544 shadow that I have in the products that I want to finish this year. This is kind of a, I don't know, I feel like it's similar to Saddle, not Saddle, but what is it called by MAC that it's so popular? Can't remember. I put the name on the screen. And I'm gonna get it wet and apply it all over the lid. Oh, Satin Taupe, that's a color. I feel like this is very similar. It's kind of a gray, but it takes more the purple, and I love it. I feel like with this look, but if I want to use this by itself, not so much. When you wet it, you really bring out more the purple, or at least it does on my skin. If you want it a little bit more subtle, if you wanted to do or try this look at home and you want it to be a little bit more subtle, don't get it wet. But I find that if you're trying to pan this shade, getting it wet, it helps you see progress, and it totally transforms a shade that it looks totally different while it's dry. And by the way, I'm using the brush 242 by MAC. That is life-changing, especially if you want to pack on the color. I thought, well, this is very similar to any other concealer on a brush. Not really. So if you were thinking the same, I don't think they're the same anyways. Now that I have it, I don't think it's the same. Now I'm blending. It's just nothing on this brush. The flat one, the number 27, where we applied the kind of darker colors into the crease. I'm going to take the color Cherry Cordial in a small brush. Let me find a small brush though. Oh, here. This is the Eco Tools brush. Right here, and I'm going to take Cherry Cordial and I'm going to remove the excess and start to apply it into the outer corner. This is more of a reddish undertone. This is a Luxie brush. This is the 235. It's small, precise, and it's synthetic fibers. So it blends it in a way that doesn't make it disappear. If I use something with natural hair bristles, like the Sephora brushes that I was using, then that's when we start to see like the color disappear more than when we use this kind of brush. So if you want something a little bit more intense, but you still want it really nicely blended, use something like this brush by Luxie, or reach for something that is as dense as this, but still synthetic fibers, and that will make a difference. It will keep the darkness of the color, won't remove it, and it will blend it. It will keep it there. It won't be absorbed by the brush. Now I'm going into Deep Dancing here with the same small brush that I used for Cherry Cordial, and I'm going to apply it into the most outer corner. So I'm gonna keep whatever cordial in the center, well, not the center, but the inner part of the outer corner, and then I'm gonna build up this color, Deep Dancing, into the outer corner. Now keep in mind that if you went a little bit overboard, you can clean it with concealer. So if your outer corner is not looking how you want it, especially right now that we're applying this kind of darker colors, you can totally fix it with a little bit of concealer. So just pack on the color, try to keep the shape that you want. So if you want, like me, this kind of a wing effect, see, that's where my brow bone starts, right here, and that way it's kind of a winged effect and lifted, especially if you are like me and you have kind of droopy eyes. This will make such a big difference. And then we're gonna move it into the lower lash line a little bit later, so just try to find the end point wherever you would meet the lower lash line, or at least that's what I like to do for this kind of look. Then I'm gonna go back into the same brush, 235 by Luxie, and then I'm going to kind of sweep it inwards. So Deep Dancing, it's going to meet Cherry Cordial. Remember, this brush doesn't have any product, and remember that since this is synthetic fibers, it won't really absorb the product, so it can't really move it too much. It's just going to blend the edges, and it's going to smoke it out, but it's not going to be able to pick up the product here and then move it into the inner corner. It's just that effect that we want to create here. I'm going to use eyeliner, and this is the Kat Von D liner, waterproof in Trooper. And truth be told, I am not too slow with this process, because I find that if I really do it slowly, I mess up more than when I try to do it quickly. So I try to follow the contour of my eye, and that's pretty much it. That's the base. And now this other one, it's not as easy, and I actually sometimes I have to pull it because I have like a flap there, right there where I'm trying to fill it in, that never gets a product. Then I usually go in with a pencil and try to fill in whatever I missed. I'm gonna use a little bit of mascara. I'm actually trying to finish this month the Pixi by Petra Large Lash Mascara. I broke it, the thing, so I'm using it like this, and it's kind of drying up on me, but I love this formula, so I'm gonna try to finish or use up as much as I can this month, and then move it out of my collection at the end of the month. See, now that I'm doing my lashes, I can see how many spaces I have without the black liner in between my lashes, and it really bothers me, but I'm going to ignore it. Or maybe not. I'm gonna get the eyeliner again. I'm gonna put my head like this, and I'm gonna go over those areas where I can't see the liner. I apply a little bit of Benefit the Real on top to kind of give an extra hold, because my lashes tend to go down, and I messed up my under eye area, so I tried to clean it. It was a mess, so I decided that I was going to put a little bit of concealer and then blend it out. This will help me also to clean out my outer corner and make it a little bit more sharp. The one thing with this Shape Tape is that you don't have to worry about setting it or anything. It really is brightening, conceals my under eyes. I don't know, I just have to say, I recently ordered my MAC Pro Longwear because I love it, and I don't know, it's just one of those staples. Is there anything that you have that you're like, okay, I found something that it works too, or that I have and it works, but I need to have that product? Well, that's what I feel about my MAC Pro Longwear. But this concealer, this dark concealer, it's another must-have for me. I just love it. It makes my under eye area look flawless. Now I'm gonna go back into Cherry Cordial and apply it into my lower lash line, but stopping in the center. Whenever we're reaching this area, make sure that you don't have that much product, or at least that's what I like with this look. So again, I pick up the product, I start wherever the color starts in the outer corner and then move it into the center of the lid. But I always go low on this one and I never go that low on this other one, and then I have to touch up. I think it's the shape of my eye there. Okay, now I'm gonna take Salted Caramel in the same brush, why not? And I'm gonna blend that color to make it a little bit more smoky. And I'm gonna get a blending brush. Why not this one? Now I'm gonna blend it. I'm starting in the outer corner of my eye, see the top lash or lid. I'll blend it like this. I'm gonna put a little bit of this purple eyeliner into my waterline. I usually get watery eyes, but oh well, I'm done. Finally, for the eyes, I'm taking this Mally Extra, what is it called? Shadow Stick Extra in Bliss, and I'm gonna put it in the inner corner because I could have used the I-544 about Makeup Forever, but I'm trying to finish this one. Now I'm setting my face with the Maybelline Fit Me powder. This foundation by Milani that I used today, it's a little bit off in color for my skin tone. It's a little bit more orange than what I like. But when I mix it with this powder, it kind of works. I don't know, it takes a different, even though this powder, this color 230, is it 230? Yeah, 230. It's not the perfect match either. So I'm gonna use the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil, and I'm gonna get a small brush. This is the Small Blush by Sephora Collection. I'm gonna kind of contour, but not really. Then I'm gonna move on to blush. This is a Deuce brush. Not brush, but blush. I'm gonna try to use it today. I'm trying this formula. I have another blush that I'm panning, but today I'm gonna take a break. Then I'm gonna take Yummy Cookies by ColourPop, and I'm gonna take a Dual Fiber brush by Luxie, and I'm gonna apply it into my cheekbones. All over actually. Maybe I'm gonna make my blush glittery or shimmery, whatever this highlighter is. Love this brush. This is something that I got through Ipsy, the 524T by Luxie. It's tiny, but the bristles are in the perfect distance, the perfect density for applying this kind of product. And then a little bit up here. Now for lips, I'm going to be using this one. This is the Beeper by ColourPop. This is a beautiful shade. I do like it. And I was watching, I want to say Love Heatherette, and she mentioned that this one's went bad at her. I don't know if this formula, but I figured that I'm going to try to pan them and kind of see if I need to repurchase them compared to other different formulas that I have in my collection. But this color is just beautiful, and it came in a set. It was like a Foxy set, I think, something like that, but I love to use it special with this eye look. So that's it. This is the final look. It's something that it may be a little smoky and dramatic for some people, but I do like this kind of look and I'm okay with it. And I'm gonna take my daughter to the dentist this way, so it's something totally wearable for me. Anyways, I always have to remove the makeup that I have on my earrings. I got a lot of makeup on my earrings. Anyways, this is the final look. I will put all the products in the description box down below. I hope that you enjoy this kind of chatty get ready with me video and some of the tips and things that I do, and I probably don't mention them in the other videos where I'm doing voiceovers and kind of trying to make them as short as I can. So I will do this kind of videos that are longer, and I don't mind. I actually enjoy them, and I'll try to do them more regularly. So if I see that people like them and enjoy the tips or enjoy the, you know, different combinations, then I can do them maybe, you know, often, like once a week. If not, maybe I can do it every other week, and for those of you that enjoy this kind of videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video.